It was a cold, rainy night in Seattle. The rain tapped softly against the windows, and everything felt unusually quiet. Emily was 19 years old. Her parents were out of town for the weekend, and she was alone in the house. She sat on the couch, scrolling through her phone. Everything felt completely normal. Then suddenly, a sound came from upstairs. Thumping. Emily froze. She slowly looked toward the staircase. She thought maybe it was just the house making noise. A few moments of silence passed. Then again, thump thumping. This time it was clear. Footsteps. Slow, steady walking. Right above her room. Emily's heart started racing. She turned off her phone and listened carefully. The footsteps were real. She texted her mom. "Is anyone home?" No reply. Suddenly, the sound stopped. Complete silence filled the house. Then a soft creaking sound, like someone was standing still upstairs. Emily slowly stood up. Something inside her told her not to go upstairs, but she couldn't ignore it. She walked into the kitchen and grabbed a knife. Slowly, she started going up the stairs. Each step creaked under her feet. Outside, the rain got heavier. Suddenly, thunder struck. She flinched. Halfway up the stairs, she stopped, because she heard something again. This time, it wasn't footsteps. It was breathing. Slow, deep breathing. Coming from her room. Emily's hands started shaking. She whispered, "Hello." No answer. Only the sound of breathing. She slowly reached the top. The hallway was dark. Her bedroom door was slightly open. She was sure she had closed it. She slowly pushed the door open. The room was empty. Everything looked normal. The bed, the desk, the window, nothing was out of place. She let out a small breath of relief. Maybe she imagined everything. She turned around to leave, and froze, because behind her, the closet door was now open. Just a little. She stared at it. She was sure it had been closed before. Slowly, the door started opening wider. On its own, Emily couldn't move. Something inside shifted. A shadow. Then, a hand appeared. Long, pale fingers gripping the edge of the door. Emily screamed. She ran. She rushed down the stairs as fast as she could. The knife slipped from her hand. Her phone fell to the floor. Behind her, she heard it. Something was running, chasing her. Fast. She reached the front door. Her hands were shaking. She couldn't unlock it. The footsteps were getting closer. Closer. Right behind her. Finally, she unlocked the door. She ran outside. The rain was pouring heavily. She ran barefoot into the street, screaming. She didn't stop running until she reached her neighbor's house. They called the police. The police searched the entire house. Everything looked normal, but inside the closet, they found something. Not a person, not an animal, just wet footprints leading from the closet to the attic. But the worst part, the attic door was locked from the outside. It was past midnight in a quiet suburban neighborhood in Ohio. Rain poured steadily outside, tapping against the windows. Jason had just turned 22. He lived alone in a small house at the end of the street. That night, the power had gone out. No lights, no internet, just darkness and the sound of rain. Jason lit a few candles and sat in the living room. The silence felt heavy, too heavy. He tried to distract himself by listening to music on his phone. But then, A sudden flash of lightning lit up the entire room. For a split second, he saw something outside the window. A figure standing in his front yard. Jason sat up straight. "Probably just a shadow," he whispered. He slowly stood up and walked toward the window. The rain blurred everything outside. He leaned closer to the glass. Nothing. No one was there. He let out a small breath, then turned around. Tap. He froze. A soft sound came from the window behind him. Tap, tap, like someone gently tapping on the glass. Jason turned slowly, his heart pounding. Another flash of lightning. And this time, he saw it clearly. A man, standing right outside the window, face pressed against the glass. Smiling, Jason jumped back. The candle almost fell from his hand. What the hell? The man didn't move. He just stood there, smiling, rain dripping down his face. Jason grabbed his phone and turned on the flashlight. He pointed it at the window. Nothing. The man was gone. Jason's breathing became heavy. He stepped closer again. Slowly, carefully, then suddenly, bang! Something slammed hard against the window. Jason screamed and fell back. The glass shook violently. For a moment, he thought it would shatter. But it didn't. Silence again. Only rain. Jason backed away from the window, his hands shaking. "This isn't real," he whispered. Then, tap tap. This time, from behind him. Jason froze. The tapping wasn't coming from the window anymore. It was coming from inside the house. Slowly, he turned around. The sound was coming from the hallway. Tap tap, like fingers tapping on the wall. Moving closer, Jason grabbed a kitchen knife, his whole body trembling. The tapping got louder. Closer, closer. Then it stopped, right outside the living room. Silence. Jason stood there, unable to move. Then, a voice, soft, whispering, "Let me in." Jason's eyes widened. "No," he whispered. "I'm already inside." The voice replied. Suddenly, the hallway light flickered on, just for a second. And in that moment, Jason saw him, the same man from the window, standing in the hallway, smiling. Then the light went out again. Darkness. Jason ran. He rushed toward the back door. He didn't look back. He didn't stop. He ran out into the rain, barefoot, just like that. He kept running until he reached the main road. A passing car stopped and helped him. The police were called. They searched the house. No broken windows. No forced entry. Nothing. But in the hallway, they found something. Wet handprints all over the walls, leading toward Jason's bedroom. Jason never returned to that house again. And to this day, he refuses to look out a window. On a rainy night, it was a stormy night in Chicago. Rain was hitting the roof hard, and the wind howled outside. Daniel, 24 years old, had the house to himself. His parents had left earlier that evening to visit relatives. He locked all the doors, checked the windows twice. Everything was secure. Around 1:30 a.m., he was in the kitchen making coffee. He didn't feel sleepy, just uneasy, like something wasn't right. Then, his phone rang. Unknown number. Daniel hesitated, then answered. "Hello." No response. just static. He frowned. "Hello, who is this?" A few seconds passed. Then, a voice. Low, weak. "Daniel." His body went cold. "Who is this?" No answer. Then the voice came again. "Come upstairs." Daniel froze. His grip tightened on the phone. "What?" "Come upstairs." The line went dead. Daniel stared at his phone, his heart pounding. "This is a prank," he whispered. But something felt wrong. Very wrong. He slowly walked out of the kitchen. The house felt different now. Quieter. He looked toward the staircase. Dark. Completely dark. Then, "Siariyeke," a sound from upstairs, like someone stepping on the floor. Daniel's breath got heavier. No one is there, he told himself. Then his phone vibrated again. Same unknown number. He answered immediately. "Who are you?" Silence. Then, "I'm waiting." The same voice. Soft. From the phone. But at the same time, Daniel heard it again. Not from the phone. From upstairs. Right above him. The same words. "I'm waiting." His eyes widened. The phone slipped slightly from his hand. The voice was inside the house. Daniel slowly looked up the stairs. Every instinct told him to run, but fear rooted him in place. Then, thump, a loud sound from upstairs, followed by dragging noises, like something being pulled across the floor. Daniel stepped back, shaking. "I'm not going up there," he whispered. Then, his phone rang again. He didn't want to answer, but he did. Slowly. "Hello." This time, it was his own voice, coming from the phone. "Daniel, come upstairs." He dropped the phone. His entire body froze. That was his voice. Exactly like him. Same tone. Same breathing. Then, another sound upstairs. A door opening. Slowly. "Siariyeke." Daniel couldn't take it anymore. He ran straight to the front door, unlocked it, and ran out into the rain. He didn't stop. Not once. He spent the rest of the night at a gas station. The next morning, he returned with the police. They searched the entire house. No one inside. Nothing out of place. Everything normal. Until they checked upstairs. Daniel's bedroom door was open. Inside, the room was a mess. Furniture slightly moved. The window wide open. Rain had soaked part of the floor. But that wasn't the worst part. On the wall, written in something dark, were the words, "IWAITED." Daniel moved out that same day. He changed his number, left the city, but sometimes, late at night, his phone still rings, and when he answers, he hears his own voice, telling him to come upstairs. It was a rainy Friday night in a quiet neighborhood in Texas. The streets were empty, and the sound of rain echoed through the silence. Megan, 21 years old, was home alone. Her roommate had gone out of town for the weekend. She locked all the doors, checked everything twice. Around 11:45 p.m., she was in her room watching videos on her laptop. Everything felt normal. Until, knock. A soft knock at the front door. Megan paused the video. She listened carefully. Silence. She shrugged it off. Probably nothing. Then, knock, knock. This time louder. More urgent. Megan stood up slowly, her heart beating faster. She walked out of her room and toward the front door. The house felt colder, quieter. She reached the door. "Who is it?" she asked. No answer. She looked through the peephole. Nothing. No one outside. Just rain. She frowned. Maybe someone left. She turned away. Knock, knock, knock. This time aggressive. Vast. Right behind her. She jumped, quickly turned back to the door. "Who's there?" she said loudly. Still no answer. Her hands started shaking. She slowly leaned toward the peephole again. This time, she saw something. An eye, looking back at her. From the outside, unblinking. Megan screamed and stepped back. The knocking stopped. Instantly, silence. Her breathing was heavy. "What is happening?" she whispered. Then, her phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. "Don't open the door." Megan stared at the screen, confused. Another message came immediately. "He's outside." Her heart dropped. She slowly looked back at the door. Nothing. No sound. No movement. Then, another message. "I'm inside." Megan froze. Her eyes widened. Her hands started trembling uncontrollably. She slowly turned around. The hallway behind her was dark. Too dark. Then, Siariyake. A door inside the house slowly opened. Megan backed away, tears forming in her eyes. "Hello," she whispered. No answer. Only the sound of rain outside. Then, footsteps. Inside the house. Slow. Deliberate. Walking toward her. Megan ran. She rushed into her room and slammed the door shut. Locked it. Pushed a chair against it. Her breathing was uncontrollable now. She grabbed her phone. Called 911. Whispering, crying. "Someone's in my house." From outside her room, footsteps stopped. Right at her door. Silence. Then, knock. Soft. Right on her door. Megan covered her mouth, trying not to make a sound. Then, a voice. Right outside. Soft. Calm. "Open the door." Megan shook her head silently, tears streaming down her face. "No," she whispered. Then, her phone vibrated again. Another message. Same unknown number. "Don't listen to him." Her heart pounded harder. Another message. "Hide." Then, the voice outside changed. No longer calm. Angry. "Open the door." The door handle started shaking violently. Bang. Bang. The door rattled as something slammed against it. Megan screamed, holding the door, crying. Then, suddenly, everything stopped. Complete silence. No footsteps. No voice. Nothing. A few minutes later, police sirens filled the street. They broke into the house, searched everything. No one was inside. No sign of forced entry. Nothing. Megan was taken out safely. But before she left, she checked her phone. All the messages were gone. No unknown number. No history. Nothing. Weeks later, she found out something. From the police. That house had a previous case. A girl who lived there before had called 911 one night, saying the same thing. Someone is in my house. The call ended suddenly. They found her the next day, inside her room, door locked from the inside. No one else in the house. But on her phone, there were messages from an unknown number saying, "Don't open the door." It was exactly 2:57 a.m. Rain poured heavily outside a quiet house in New York. The streets were empty. No cars, no people. Inside the house, Ryan, 23 years old, was awake. He didn't know why. He just suddenly woke up. His room was completely dark. Only the faint sound of rain filled the silence. He checked his phone. 2:57 a.m. He sighed and tried to go back to sleep. Then, knock. A soft knock echoed through the house. Ryan opened his eyes. Confused, he sat up slowly. Did I imagine that? Silence. He lay back down, closed his eyes. Then, knock, knock. This time clearer, coming from downstairs. Ryan swallowed. His throat felt dry. Probably just the wind, he whispered. But deep down, he knew it was. He got out of bed, slowly walked to his bedroom door, opened it. The hallway was dark, cold, unnaturally cold. He stepped out. Each step felt heavy. The house felt wrong. Then, knock. Again. From the front door. Ryan looked toward the stairs, his heart pounding. He started walking down. Step by step. The knocking stopped. Silence again. He reached the bottom, stood in front of the door. He didn't open it. He just stood there, listening. Nothing. No sound outside. No movement. He slowly reached for the handle. Then his phone vibrated. He flinched. He checked it. Unknown number. A message. Don't open it. Ryan's breath caught. Another message came instantly. It's not human. He stepped back from the door, his hands shaking. Who is this? He whispered. No reply. Then, knock, right in front of him. Loud, aggressive. The door shook slightly. Ryan backed away further, his heart racing uncontrollably. Then, a voice from the other side of the door. Soft, familiar. Ryan opened the door. He froze. That voice, it was his mother. But that was impossible. She was out of state. He knew that. Ryan, it's me. The voice sounded perfect. Exactly like her. Same tone. Same warmth. Ryan slowly shook his head. No, he whispered. Another message on his phone. That's not her. Ryan's eyes filled with fear. The voice outside became more desperate. Ryan, please open the door. Then suddenly, silence. Completely silent. Ryan stood there frozen. Not moving. Not breathing. Then, a slow scratching sound started. From the door, like nails dragging across wood. Screeching. Screeching. Ryan covered his ears, stepping back, tears forming in his eyes. The scratching got louder, more aggressive. Then, bang, something slammed against the door violently. Again, bang, the whole door shook. Ryan ran. He ran back upstairs, locked himself in his room, pushed his bed against the door, his whole body shaking. Then, he heard it from downstairs. The door. slowly opening. Crek. Ryan froze. That's impossible, he whispered. He didn't open it. He was sure. Footsteps. Inside the house. Slow. Heavy. Climbing the stairs. One step at a time. Ryan covered his mouth, trying not to make a sound. The footsteps reached the top. Stopped. Right outside his room. Silence. Then, knock. Soft. On his door. Ryan didn't move. Didn't breathe. Then, a whisper. Right outside. I know you're awake. Ryan closed his eyes tightly, tears falling. Then, his phone vibrated one last time. He looked at the screen. Unknown number. Final message. It's already inside. The door handle slowly started turning. Ryan screamed, and everything went dark. The next morning, police were called. Neighbors reported hearing screams during the night. They found Ryan's house empty, front door wide open. No signs of forced entry. No struggle. No blood. Nothing. Ryan was gone. No trace. No evidence. Only one thing remained. His phone, lying on the floor of his room. Screen cracked. Still on. And on the screen, the last message was still there. It's already inside. You're home alone right now. And it's raining outside. Just remember, sometimes the knocking is not meant to be answered.